Hello and good morning and welcome back to the KW Ranching Kitchen. Today we are making spaghetti sauce, meat sauce. In this pan right here that you see all the steam coming out of, we have 2 pounds of our grass-fed beef, hamburger meat, and 1.5 pounds of ground pork. Now this is a combination of both my mother's recipe and my mother-in-law's recipe. My mother-in-law used to put chunks of pork in her sauce. Like take hamburgers and like cut it up, or not hamburgers, I'm sorry. Take pork chops and cut it up and put it in her sauce along with her hamburger meat. She'd also do sausage and pepperoni too. That was a long time ago. So I liked the flavor of the pork in the sauce, but I didn't like using the big chunks of meat. I much rather preferred to use ground meat. So what I started doing is I started requesting the butcher to make me ground pork and put the ground pork in it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take, like I said, 2 pounds of hamburger meat and 1.5 pounds of ground pork, or less if you don't like enough meat. We like a lot of meat in our sauce. And then you're going to start browning that up. Now, while I brown all that up, I also like to season the meat alone. So, I'm going to open up this Italian seasoning that I have not opened yet. As you see, I buy the big sizes. Put that in there. And then I use about a handful. I have decent sized hands, so, whole handful. And then I'm also being lazy. Instead of cutting up onions and garlic, we're going to do a handful of dehydrated onions, the lazy person way, and a handful of garlic flakes. And of course, we can't forget the salt and the pepper. Same thing. Not quite a handful in the salt, though. You don't want it that salty. And I'm not a big pepper fan, so we don't normally have a lot of pepper. So I'll just shake it all around and about. And then you just stir all that in. So just to recap, we have a handful of Italian seasoning, a handful of diced dehydrated onions, and a handful of diced dehydrated garlic, along with 2 pounds of hamburger meat and 1.5 pounds of ground pork. Now, I normally would put in Worcestershire sauce as well, but I didn't realize I ran out. So, because I almost always have some form of alcohol to cook with, or all the forms of alcohol, I like to make different sauces and stuff with wine and beer and alcohol. I had some red wine hiding in the pantry, so I'm going to add that to it too, in place of the Worcestershire sauce, or Worcestershire. And just keep on the browning until you see all that pink gone. You definitely want that pink gone. I'm going to turn that up just a little bit higher because it seems to be not on high. And it takes forever to brown. Now I don't add tomato paste. I actually add an already tomato basil sauce to my sauce. So it's a doctored sauce. I use Maria Angelina traditional pasta sauce, tomato basil. And I buy the big giant can, big giant can, which is about $5 at our local Save-A-Lot. and I get quite a few different meals out of this. One batch of tomato sauce, spaghetti meat sauce, will actually give me 3 to 4 meals. It might go up now because it's now just 3 of us here. Justin, my middle son, just left for Connecticut to go see his father before heading off to his permanent duty station. Austin, my oldest, is actually moving out this week as well. He's moving to his own apartment. Woohoo for him, dealt step. Which leaves me, John, and Aaron. And, well, this is a lot of spaghetti sauce for me, John, and Aaron. We're almost browned. Now, I've been watching a lot of frugal living and blogs and vlogs, video vlogs, and reading a ton of frugal living books lately. I've been addicted to Kate's, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I think it's Singh, Singh. I've read 4 of her books already, and I'm on her 5th. All about penny pinching and frugal living and just breaking down the basics. And I've noticed in her books and other video logs I've watched, like Homesteading Family, the one thing about frugal living that all of it's kind of goes around is home cooking from scratch. One of the frugalest things that you could possibly do is not eat out. Make your food from home. Like, I know this is a little bit of cheating because I'm using an already made spaghetti sauce and I'm doctoring it. But this is a $5 can of spaghetti sauce. To get a meat sauce that I like, that has all the seasonings in it that I like and all the meat in it that I like, and even then it still doesn't have enough meat. I still have to ground up a thing of meat and put it in there. I'm going to be spending $7 to $8 for a quart-sized jar. 1 quart, $8. I prefer not to do that. Now we are nice and browned because I added the wine sauce in, and there's actually not a lot of fat in this because our cows are grass-fed, so they're extremely lean. There's no fat in the pork, so I don't have to drain it. So we're gonna crack this thing open. Round and round we go. And of course, once again, I have white on, so let me try not to splatter anything on my shirt. Easier said than done, right? And then we're going to pour this in here. And the fills are all the way right up to the top. You can actually see it, how high it goes. And I think we're going to hold on to this can and see if we can figure out something to repurpose it for. Okay, put that in the sink. We're going to stir this very carefully. Now, what we're going to do is once we get this all stirred up and we can see the meat again, we're going to add another handful of each of the seasonings. And then we're going to let it simmer for a few hours. And we're going to give her a taste test. If it's to taste, you leave it alone and you just let it simmer until tomorrow. I usually transfer it, at that point I transfer it into a crock pot and I cook it on low until the next day. I'm getting all those flavors all mixed in together, and we will not have this until tomorrow. This will be tomorrow's dinner, not tonight. And tomorrow what I'll do is after I take out enough for tomorrow's dinner, I will jar it all up And I think I'm going to try pressure canning it. I have never pressure canned before, so I'm going to do it without the video, without you guys watching first. Make sure I can do it okay without blowing the house up. We don't want to watch that on video, do we? And then I will post a video on pressure canning after I make sure everything goes the way it's supposed to. But for now, let's get the more seasonings in. Like I said, another handful of the Italian seasoning, another handful of the onions, another handful of the garlic. Oops, got a little extra garlic in there. Some more salt. And a little bit extra pepper this time, because I don't think we had enough pepper in there. And then we're going to stir all this up. Get this all stirred in there. Nice and easy, so we don't make any messes. We don't want any messes. Oh, the pepper's gonna make me sneeze. Oh, I made a mess. Oh, too much pepper. Well, that's all for now. Of course, soup and stew season are coming, so there'll be quite a few of these coming up on how to make different soups and stews and dishes. Because I know busy hockey season's coming up, skiing season's coming up, all that hard work outside for shoveling and plowing and snowshoeing if you want to go snowshoeing. I know we're going to have to do a trail around the fence, the pasture fences. So daily, someone's going to have to take a stroll around the pasture fences to make sure all the fences are up and everything's good. Make sure there's no predator tracks in the snow and going into the pasture or jumping the fence. We don't want deer in the pasture, and we don't want coyotes in the pasture. The deer will scare the cows, causing a stampede. The coyotes, they'll also scare the cows, causing a stampede. But at the same time, we don't want coyotes in the pasture. So someone will have to take a stroll around it. It'll be a good year for me to learn how to cross-country ski or just go snowshoeing. But for now, that is all. Let's put the lid on this. It's got a little vent hole, so it still the vents comes out. Turn it down and let her simmer for a few hours before I test her and switch her over. That's all for now. Thanks for joining the KW Ranching Kitchen. We'll see you soon.